is the Pizza and Hummus Podcast.
So why would you listen to the Pizza and Hummus Podcast?
Am I right, bada bing?
Uh-oh, here we go. Now, here we go. Here we go. Now, here we go.
I laughed way too hard again. That's the worst thing ever. And welcome back to the Pizza and Hummus Podcast.
Howdy.
What is going on?
Vince, I'll tell you what's going on.
What is going on, Richie?
We got a great episode here. We're going to be talking about a whole mess of problems.
What?
We're going to get in deep. We got Lauren as a guest. Ranch.
Hey.
Yep.
Ranch is back.
Ranch is back.
Ranch never left.
Ranch is always here.
Ranch is always in spirit.
It's true. I'm always in the house somewhere.
Yeah. Just pretending like we're not in a... We got a studio, Lauren.
Yep.
We got a show coming up. It's at the end of May. Is it May 31st?
I believe it's May 31st. It is a showcase. Let me just double check. It's an awesome lineup. You're not going to want to miss this one. It is the 31st. It's at Eats and Crafts in Troy, Michigan. Doors at 8:30, 9 p.m. Show start. $5 at the door. Lineup's great. Already booked.
Yep. And then also look out, too, for our June shows. That's going to be coming up soon. So we'll be announcing that. So this is something I want to ask the audience. Is they can't obviously respond now, but just to let us know on our Facebook pages and stuff, Instagram, all that good stuff. Would you guys ever be interested in merch? Mm-hmm. Because if you want any merch, we couldn't possibly even make mugs, T-shirts, all that stuff.
Coasters.
Lauren agreed to do a lot of the cool designs for that.
Yeah.
So if you guys want some merch, let us know. Because if you don't, we're not gonna just have a warehouse full of merch.
A warehouse.
Or will
Please,
we?
someone buy this. But if you do that. But for now, that's the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk a little bit, get a little more nostalgic today. Talk a little bit more about childhood and stuff. More specifically, one of the greatest shows of all time. One of the defining characteristics of a millennial is whether or not you've seen this show. We're talking about SpongeBob SquarePants.
Cue that intro music.
Bum, bum.
Oh, well.
As Law and Order.
Here
Law
we
and
go.
Dun, dun.
So let's get started on that right now. So Richie, I want to know your process. You just said you had all these other things, and I was like, these topics they're not bad. Like I'm like I can make them work.
Yeah.
I think spring would be the hardest because every year we try to do spring, and it's always like, when is it gonna be summer? And that's it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing of
Easter.
It's the Thanksgiving.
Remember when we were
the,
kids
Remember that?
and we had eggs?
And like half every other person's like, I didn't do that.
Yeah. Everyone's like, I don't relate. I'm Jewish. There's that, and then just randomly you just put in all caps SpongeBob episode.
Well, here's what I noticed. That's all I do. Is talk about SpongeBob and SpongeBob quotes.
Same, yeah.
And so I was probably like thinking of ideas, and then I was like talking to somebody else, and I was saying some SpongeBob line for the 100th time, and I was like, boom.
SpongeBob isn't on Hulu, is it?
No, it's not on anything.
It's not anything.
No, I looked it up.
No,
You
it's
got
on Amazon Prime.
What?
Mhm.
All of them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
And you
what?
call yourself a fan? SpongeBob's the best.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I was this close to buying the box set from
Of every episode.
of not Amazon Prime, from Amazon, the website, the store, and be like, well, I have to if I want season 1 through whatever when it stops being good. 5, 6, 12? How far does it make it before it starts? They get a new animator.
I want to say like after 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After season 4. That's when it gets.
It has like the golden age of SpongeBob.
So I posted on Instagram. It was just in blank text and a white background, and it was, I have glass bones and paper skin. Every night I break my arms, and every morning I break my legs. Or what is every day and every night I break my arms. At night, I lie there in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep.
Yeah.
A clear quote
Yeah.
from the chocolate episode of SpongeBob. What do I get? 3 messages of concerned friends.
Oh no. No.
One of them being Jarrett, friendship over.
Aw.
You all right, man? Jeez. Someone just responded, jeez.
I mean, if anything,
Well.
like that could have almost been like some lyrics to My Chemical Romance.
Linkin Park lyrics.
Just something
yeah.
like, oh, he's just doing lyrics to some emo band from the MySpace days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think everyone's like, oh, do you have paper bones?
Right, and glass skin. Like
You have a heart attack to put yourself to
a
sleep?
lot of metaphors. This guy Richie, Also, I posted this.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, okay, so I get it. I do a lot of Alan Watts, and I get it, but this is okay.
no, I get it.
I'm upset.
I think especially the heart attack helps me put to sleep.
Yeah.
That's
Until my
like
heart attacks put me to
everyone
sleep.
can be like, wait a minute. Richie is the most fit person in our friend group.
Right.
There's no way he has heart attacks that he uses to put himself to sleep. If he's like, oh, I got paper bones. Oh, it's a metaphor for he breaks easy.
Right.
I have heart attacks that put me to sleep. I think that's pretty on the bone. That's pretty on the nose.
I'm a little afraid though where we would be as a culture if SpongeBob just never happened. Like where would all the memes be?
That's true.
Be a lot less memes. People in general maybe would be a lot less goofy.
What would we talk about? How would we connect?
How would we connect at all?
There's, I think it's the infographic show. Do you ever see that on YouTube?
No.
It's a really interesting channel. Everything is designed in an infographic style, like the flat design and all that stuff, and they give you different facts and statistics or history stories, all sorts of stuff. I really recommend it. They had one on the difference between millennials and Gen Xers and millennials and all this stuff. And one of the things they said for millennials was you have to understand SpongeBob quotes because they talk in SpongeBob quotes.
Yeah.
That's how we talk.
And I was like, this got real.
This guy gets it. Yeah, it's a lot of.
There's always the one person though that's like, my parents said I couldn't watch.
I was a Disney kid.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, but were you a kid?
Yeah.
Come on.
All right, well now for 10 minutes you're gonna have to sit in silence while we quote an entire episode.
While we go
of
back and
Yes.
forth. Yeah, I guess you have to sit in silence. I hope you feel good about yourself
Yeah.
with your high horse on the Disney Channel.
I feel like a fool for watching
peasant.
the Cheetah Girls. Where
I
they
feel like a fool
how's
for
how's
watching.
Hannah Montana doing?
You pile of trash.
I still don't. Okay, my parents said I can't watch SpongeBob as a kid. You're a grown adult now. My parents said I can't.
Yeah.
Did you ever think maybe I should give it a try? You're seeing all these memes.
Right.
Everyone's talking. It's
Yeah.
like it's like they can't.
But
Yeah.
do you think it could work though? Like if you
Put your pride
If you
away.
didn't have the nostalgia of
If
put
you
your
didn't
pride out, you're all mad.
if you didn't have the nostalgia,
Right, would that-
and then you went and decided to watch it in
no,
your 20s
because it's still funny.
it's
It
still
really
It
is.
honestly is still funny. I don't care if you've never watched. You're 80 years old. You've never seen SpongeBob.
Yeah.
You're
It's
gonna
so
laugh
good.
at the
True.
chocolate episode.
Right.
How do you not?
yeah.
I love you.
The salesman, the salesman bit every time. It's like one of my favorite.
Well, that's
things.
from the paper
Right.
bones. That's
Paper
the
Bones
ultimate
Glass
one.
Skin.
It's one of my favorite things. That he gets them how many times with the chocolate bar bags and then
Yeah.
the chocolate bar bags.
Bags for your bags.
And then the picture of
See,
him.
and the reaction.
And then wait, isn't there another one? What was the next one? No, that was it, I think.
He's like, yeah. He's like, this was me when I was 100
so-
pounds. He's like, I'll take 20.
I'll take 20.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, we had this discussion with Anthony from the university where he was saying, he doesn't know like when to introduce your kid to the phone.
Yeah.
Because like, well, what if he can't keep up? I think kids who don't watch SpongeBob can't keep up.
They can't.
That's what it is.
I'm saying they can't keep
Social
up.
cues are lost.
You
Yeah.
instantly know as soon as someone says, "Oh, I never watched SpongeBob." You're like, "Oh my god, I'm judging you," and I
We'll
feel
never be
bad.
friends.
Oh, you were homeschooled, weren't you?
You were just.
You not have a TV?
Yeah.
We would just read and play with sticks outside.
Play with sticks outside. Our clothes were made out of leaves.
We were sad all the time. What is this joy you speak of? I mean, like my mom thought it was dumb,
Oh yeah.
but it didn't have swearing and it didn't have anything sexual, so it was okay. Like, she didn't like it, but she was never like, you're not going to watch this show.
Right.
And then my dad thought it was hilarious.
My parents thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just because we were reacting so like intense to like we were
Yeah.
just dying
Yeah.
laughing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so they were like, "Oh, okay," They never like actually sat down and like dissected a SpongeBob
Yeah.
episode. There's nothing in it that's like.
Last week I laughed for, I'm assuming 24 hours straight. I don't remember. I blacked part of it out. About just the screenshot of SpongeBob without eyelashes when
Oh,
he
yeah.
gives Squidward his sweater. It's the freeze frames and when all of the artist took way too much time to draw it, and it's all that
Yeah.
detail all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
This close and zooms. Yeah.
Eyelashes.
Does this look happen to you? It zooms in on his face. See, that was the thing. That was so weird.
Yeah.
As a kid, just the zoomed up, just horrible
Not lame.
look. But
I feel like that was unique
was-
to SpongeBob. Or
yeah.
started with
It
SpongeBob.
was.
Of the punchline is a very overly artsy rendition.
It's almost like, well, you guys know, you're stand-up comedians. It's like when you hold on a joke for a little bit, you're waiting for that audience like laugh. I feel like that's what it was doing. Like, wait, no, but this is really good.
Yeah.
We can't just animate this. This has got to be a still painting that someone took
Yeah.
10 hours to do. They're gonna get the joke.
Pans
I wonder if there
up.
was just like some like surrealist artist or whatever that was hired. Then like we got to do something with this guy. And
Right.
you're like, I got it.
I
Let's
got
just,
an idea.
Just put it in a punchline just over. Because it just got real. It always just get real for a second.
Yeah.
You know, you see these like goofy characters. Then there's like zooms in. There's like warts and there's like ooze coming out of their eyes and boogers. And you're like, oh my god. And then it goes back to normal.
Pretend like it never happened. I'll never forget what the Nasty Patty looks like.
Oh yeah.
It's like bubbles.
Yeah, ugh, like a wart. Did you guys have a favorite character?
Mm,
The older I get, the more I like Plankton.
That's so weird.
I just think he's so funny. 'Cause-
I enjoy his voice a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I like his voice.
Him as a character.
correct.
Yeah.
It's always,
He's just-
He's just always trying to be evil. I always think of the even like in the first SpongeBob movie when they're like you and your little hands and it shows him like staring at his hands.
Classic.
And he's or the I think it was like one of the first ones that he did. I could be wrong. Where the Krabby Patty like turns into a robot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's riding the Krabby Patty. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, time to go into maximum overdrive. And he like moves a little faster. And he gets caught. And he's like, I knew I should have bought the turbo.
No, I think my favorite line possibly of the whole show, specifically for Plankton, is I don't know what the episode was, but Plankton kept getting hit and like smashes up. And then at one point Plankton goes, wait, where'd you get that piano? And then he gets hit with the piano. It just doesn't make any sense to the plot of the show. Wait, where'd you get that piano?
Or just him just going, I went to college. But
Yeah,
I
Plankton's good.
think he's good. I mean, as a kid, it was always Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick was the big. I mean, you got excited for SpongeBob, but I don't know.
Patrick, I feel like, had more of the lines. Or maybe he didn't. I don't know.
Also, I like the older I get, the more I like Squidward. But that's kind of a cliche. Like the older you get, the more you
Yeah,
understand
that's a
Squidward.
meme.
But
Yeah.
I like it just because he's just always. His world is just always crushing.
Yeah, it actually makes sense now. Like, it's true because it's a meme, but it's also, like, actually true because it's, like, before it's just like, oh, he's no fun, and no, he's got a backstory.
Yeah. But he's the most relatable. Like, he feels like he could exist.
Yeah.
Like, just a guy
It's
trying
like-
to make it in a clarinet career.
Yeah.
It's
Working a fast
actually
food
us
job.
if we were in that show.
Can't
Yeah.
make it.
Yeah.
You know, SpongeBob's his neighbor. He's so obnoxiously in his face all the time, and he always gets a parade.
Always having
Yeah.
raves
At the
with
end.
jellyfish.
Yeah. Squidward's just by himself, taking a bubble bath.
Lauren, you told me one thing that it changed my view of SpongeBob forever.
Uh-oh.
So as a kid, and when you watch it, you think, oh, Squidward is he's just being a big meanie. He's being he's a negative Nancy, and that's why bad things happen to him. And then SpongeBob is always happy and positive, so things are great. But what Lauren explained to me was SpongeBob is just trolling Squidward the whole time, rubbing it in his face, and making Squidward have a horrible time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could put it in your own words you want. Like every time you watch it now, we're like,
He's like that guy.
he's
you
that
know?
guy where like things are going great, and he's like, wow, Squidward, your thing looks great too. And it's Squidward stuff is just horrible. It's like he's being a sarcastic jerk.
He's just being condescending.
Yeah.
And the whole point is to figure out if he's actually aware of it, of how condescending he's
Yeah,
being.
because as a kid you think he's being genuine.
Yeah.
Or you just think, oh, he's just being silly and dumb.
Right.
But when you watch it again, if you think of it in terms of he's just trolling them,
Yeah.
the whole time you think he's just playing mind games with Squidward this whole time. And Squidward's just trying to like,
And Squidward reacts because like he's the most relatable one. He's like,
Yeah.
leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone in my house playing the clarinet.
I want a big TV. I don't want the box.
And he's like, you suck. Your whole
suck."
life, you got Squilliam. He's better than you.
Yeah.
oh no, he's hot. That's so great.
Squilliam fancy stuff.
Squidward, and if you think about it too, like when you watch the shows, Squidward is always just trying to be left alone. He just wants to do his own thing. And then SpongeBob and Patrick are like, hey, let's mess with Squidward.
Only
So
when
then they get him into stuff, and then if Squidward gets a little interested and tries, he fails, and then they just rub it in his face like, wow, Squidward.
Yeah.
You did
Well, no,
really
they rub
great."
it in his face in the beginning. They're like with the secret club.
Oh, yeah.
And they're
this-
like, hey, you can't come in this secret club. He's like, well, what the heck? Like, why not? Like, well, you can't. So they kind of make him want to. Then he goes crazy.
There's a lot of
I don't
psychology
blame him.
behind this.
I don't blame him.
It's deep.
No.
But when you did the paper bones thing, you know, and we had like the debates and stuff, and I was like, this is ridiculous. How does nobody understand? I was telling someone, like, how does no one understand this reference? Why does everybody think that Richie's doing this? How have you not seen that episode? It's the most iconic episode. And I get all mad. Lauren just really went up to me and she was like, take it easy. It's just a drawing. And now that for people,
Take it easy.
we occasionally will talk about philosophies and morality. That should be the sentence you think of whenever things get
Yeah.
rough.
Wow,
Take
that's
it
good.
easy.
It's just a
just a drawing.
Because if we could break that down.
Yeah. If we could break it. If life is
Life is a drawing because you know what? Without your eyes, you can't see.
Oh, no.
Project the light.
life is what you make it. Do
Life
you want
is
to be a pretty
subjective.
drawing or do you want to be an ugly drawing? The
It's up
choice
to
is
you.
yours. You have the crayons.
You're the art. You have the crayons. Take it easy. It's just a drawing.
What's Squidward's painting? Bold and brash. It's like,
Well, like belongs in trash.
poor Squidward. He's just trying to be like that artist that's like emotional and like, no one understands me. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's got feelings. No one cares.
But as a kid, you're just like, oh, like SpongeBob is just cutting the BS of Squidward being so pretentious all the
Yeah.
time. But if you watch it, like I said, in this different light where he's just trolling and ruining his life, it's a different story.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I never liked Sandy.
Well, no, she's not.
Yeah.
She's such a character that I just never gave a crap about.
Her best line, though, I feel, is, which is what I quote actually weekly or overly weekly, is someone says something jokingly insulting. I'll just say, what did you just say about Texas? She did give us that.
I never got attached to her. She lived in a bubble. I don't care. Like, she was a squirrel. Like,
More
just
metaphor.
Never...
She lived in a bubble. She tried to isolate herself from the
Yeah, I
ocean.
guess.
Yeah, she was never
I
near
just-
anyone else's house. She was always separate
Mm-hmm.
from the group.
But she was so easily, like, just this background character.
Oh, yeah.
She never really had...
They tried to make her this like girl power esque, like she can do karate and she's like really smart and she's she's a girl, whatever. But she was just a boring character because she didn't really have
There's
as
no
many.
love interest between her and SpongeBob. I thought that's what that was going to
Yeah.
go for
There's
sure.
memes about it.
Really?
There's memes
think
about
so.
it probably, but there's no love interest. She's I don't know.
Like the My Leg guy, I feel like makes a bigger impact.
Yeah.
Right. There's like background characters. And that was another thing I wanted to talk about. Because I think they did an amazing job with those. The striped sweater guy.
Striped
My
sweater
leg.
guy. My Leg.
You
Who's
remember the striped sweater?
guy? Best time to wear a striped
Yeah, that
sweater.
guy.
Yeah. The guy who wore
All the
it.
time. Yeah.
I like the guy. Man, I'm going to keep saying this the whole episode. Favorite part of the whole show, every time, there's going to be a new favorite part every
Yep.
minute, is the how many times we got to teach you this lesson, old man.
Yeah.
They just beat the crap out of an old guy.
And the old guy's like, I love
I
that.
love the young people.
What about Old Man Jenkins?
Yeah.
Old Man Jenkins is good.
Larry.
See,
Larry-
here's the
Larry.
thing. Here's the thing, folks. If you think that we were gonna explain these quotes,
No.
you gotta watch it. You can watch it on Amazon. Everyone's got an Amazon account. Watch it on Amazon and get back to us. Because otherwise, if you don't know these quotes, you're not gonna be able to keep up.
Welcome to the
We're
show.
speaking a whole new language. Here. If you want to understand millennials, you gotta
Yeah.
understand how many times we're gonna teach you this lesson, old man.
I was also thinking about the layout of like the show, like Bikini Bottom or just like wherever they live, because they don't really. Well, I guess they live in Bikini Bottom, but like, which is a whole other thing. But anyways, so there's like SpongeBob's house, Squidward's house, Patrick's house. Okay, that's it.
Right.
Around there.
Yeah.
Then it's like desolate land.
Apparently,
Then, like a few miles away, we can assume the Krusty Krab,
right, fairly close.
kitty corner from the Chum Bucket.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
some miles away,
Town.
there's downtown.
Yeah.
Where the heck is Sandy's house? Somewhere else.
Yeah.
What direction? I have no idea.
Mr. Krabs' house, his
Mr.
mom's
Krabs'
house,
house is by itself.
Mrs. Puff's house.
Wherever the what was it? The Irish, the
Salty Spittoon.
no the ghost the
Flying Dutchman.
Flying Dutchman.
Irish.
Irish.
Dutch, Irish.
Yeah, same thing. The Flying Dutchman's ship, wherever
Wherever
that
that-
all those episodes took
Yeah.
place.
Those are usually like above
Right, a little bit above.
everything, which okay.
Right.
Ghosts.
Pearl's house with Mr. Krabs. Sorry,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they're all just so like I almost need a map. I need like
Pearl,
distance.
Pearl wasn't that great of a character
no,
either.
Pearl
No.
sucked. No, stupid.
Pearl was just usually the motivator to get things going, like to get SpongeBob at a dance. Well, how
Oh,
do we
that's
do
right.
that? She kind of pulls him in.
Yeah.
SpongeBob wearing a cuddly crab
The
uniform.
cuddly crab.
How do we do that? Let's get Pearl in there. Like Pearl's just kind of the one who pushes the story forward, but really isn't.
SpongeBob's
you don't really
motivation
care what
to be
she
tall,
does.
dark, and handsome.
But once again,
Yeah.
it's like a troll because like Mr. Krabs' daughter is a big giant whale. Is that supposed to be a joke on something? Like I don't know.
I don't know.
It might. I feel like it might do something with like a spoiled brat type of thing, where like she's just big and loud. she
Her
wants all
form
this
is
stuff.
a metaphor
Yeah,
for her character.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Big loud whale.
big loud whale. I don't know, but he's a crab. Everyone always talks about how like each character is like one of the 7 deadly sins.
Really?
Like, Mr. Krabs is
Yeah.
greed.
Yeah.
I think let's see, SpongeBob's is either pride, and I think
Lust.
Patrick is
I
gluttony.
don't remember.
lust is Wait, what was lust?
Yeah, Patrick was gluttony.
We're gonna pull it up. We're
Let's
gonna pull
figure
it
this
up
out. We can break
because
this down.
yeah, because there's that's a big theory, and if you don't know it, then that means we're not gonna assume.
Learn you something.
Here we go. SpongeBob 7 Deadly Sins. Okay. So apparently SpongeBob is lust. Patrick is sloth. Obviously won an award for doing the most amount of nothing for the longest time.
Yep.
Sandy's pride.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? Plankton's envy.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Krabs is greed. Squidward is wrath.
Mm-hmm.
And Gary's gluttony.
Okay. All right.
A little bit of a stretch.
I was following until
I mean,
Gary.
I mean, he's a pet, and they just always give him snacks and food to eat.
Snail
But
po.
he's not like. But I guess that's what he does. I don't know. I don't know if that's so much a sin. It's like when you feed your pet. That's a
They
very
eat
common
it.
thing.
Yeah.
I feel like Gary was more of a complex character
Mm-hmm.
than
Sandy,
Pearl, Mrs. Puff.
combined.
Yeah.
Of course, I do love.
No, Mrs. Puff got a lot of backstory.
Yeah, she did.
She did. Yeah.
Yeah.
She did. My favorite quote from her was when she allowed SpongeBob to finally get a license,
Mm-hmm.
even though she knew that he wasn't qualified, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, because I'm gonna have to escape." I think that was the episode. It was one of those.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "I'm gonna have to escape. I'm gonna have to change my name, grow a mustache," and she's like,
No.
"No, not again."
This is the best line.
We're like, "Oh snap!"
That was he gets a license and be like, no, not again. Oh, SpongeBob, why? Or is that his house telling
that
him
was his house saying
A
that.
lot of people say that to SpongeBob. His house
Why
when it's on
didn't you-
fire.
No, that
Study.
was Mrs. Puff when he
When-
hits,
when she
he crashes into
inflated.
the thing.
Oh yeah.
And then the house is,
The
why
house is
didn't
a
you just
different-
finish your paper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great one.
Well, Mrs. Puff, her character makes sense because she's supposed to be like an airbag every time
Yeah.
they get in a crash.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of about it. But no,
The procrastination one is amazing too.
Mm-hmm.
Or the mailman, he like delivers the pack. Is there a chain of mailmen delivering other mailmen? I always think that whenever. I'm
Now,
like,
do you deliver your own mail, or do you have your own mailman? Is there a chain of mailmen delivering mail to other mailmen?
Oh, it's great.
I don't know. It's
Oh, and how bad do you want a Krabby Patty every day of your life?
Yeah.
Oh, so bad.
Every day.
Yeah.
It's
I
probably
feel like
the worst.
I feel like even vegans want a Krabby Patty.
Right.
Yeah.
I had an argument with my sister when I was much younger of what a Krabby Patty. I go, man, that looks good. She goes, you know that's made out of something. I go, no, it's like a hamburger. She goes, no, it's going to be made out of fish. I go, why would it be made out of fish? That sounds gross. Krabby
Yeah,
Patty
'cause
looks good.
Wait, so that'd
Fish
be like
eating other fish?
yeah.
I guess it's possible, but
What would you? Would it be made out of? Would it be made out of cows?
maybe a bunch of cows are drowning.
Drowning
and they sink to
cows.
the bottom, and
Oh,
they use.
jeez. Well,
what you don't know about what the government doesn't want you to know about SpongeBob.
Number 5
PETA
will shock
hates
you.
them. Well, then there was that one episode where they're trying to find the secret formula, and Plankton finally gets
Plankton.
the book, and he says the secret formula is plankton, and he freaks out. But
Yeah.
it turns out that was fake.
Yeah.
So we'll never know.
Hey, all you people, you know?
That is one of my favorite
Yeah, that's a
side
good one.
characters. That guy.
Mm-hmm.
Jellyfish jelly guy. The best.
Wasn't there a YouTube channel of a guy he would cook stuff from
Yeah, binging with Babish.
Binging with Babish?
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
he cooks stuff that he sees on TV.
Like famous movie recipes, like he did the Elf spaghetti with all the candy, or like
Gross.
No, but he's done some good stuff
the
too.
prison sauce from Goodfellas. Like he does all the like
Wow.
stuff like that, and then he'll
Yeah.
eat it.
He even made the Szechuan sauce before
Yeah.
McDonald's was releasing it like crazy.
Wow.
He did that, but one of them he did was, I believe he did the Krabby Patty. I could be wrong though.
Now, how do you even do that? It's animated and they never tell you what's in it. So he's like, here's a hamburger, it's a Krabby Patty.
I don't know.
How does that
Maybe.
work?
I don't know.
Okay. But the Szechuan sauce.
The Szechuan.
At that point, it was just hypothetical. I mean, people know what Szechuan sauce is supposed
Yeah.
to taste like.
Yeah.
It existed before Mulan came out in '98.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think
No,
so.
it didn't.
No.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, my mom. Just a quick thing. My mom didn't like SpongeBob. I don't think. She doesn't like things that are annoying. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
SpongeBob is deliberately annoying.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it.
Yeah.
She likes
Hey,
Rick and
Squidward.
Morty.
Hey, Squidward.
He's like floating around him. Hey, Squidward. He's all old. But she likes Rick and Morty. She loves the show.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think my mom's ever seen Rick and Morty.
Well, I bet she'll love it.
I bet she would.
Yeah.
She would like it. I don't have that good of a bond.
Rick and Morty is the missing link.
Rick and Morty it's the glue
Yeah.
that holds mother and son relationships. No, what was a show that was for kids that your parents absolutely hated though? Like they didn't really want you to watch it. Maybe they didn't force you not to, but they were just like, this is the worst show.
Probably Invader Zim.
Yeah,
A
that
lot
one.
of Cartoon Network shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. They didn't like that one.
Yeah, that's the
Cartoon
dog.
Network had a for a lot of them different style of where it was a little weirder.
Yeah.
And they didn't like it.
Yeah,
They liked my parents liked Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron. My mom, Carl Weezer, is my mom's. Oh, hey Jim, hey Jimbo.
I made a frog.
They like those, so they like Nickelodeon shows. I feel like some Cartoon Network stuff random like
Yeah.
they didn't like.
Yeah, I think my parents were on the same boat. My mom hated. She wasn't a big fan of Cartoon Network. She liked Johnny Bravo and like Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Oh, those are kind of nice and sweet, shows or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh my god.
She could not stand
Yeah.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. She's like, I don't think you guys should be watching this. Or Cow and Chicken.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
With the heavily detailed butts.
shiny.
They're always like shiny. They got little hair.
That
in
red
them.
guy that
The-
was just always
the
naked.
devil or
The-
whatever.
Literally, the devil is in it.
Was that his name? He was just the devil?
I don't know if they gave him a
They
name.
never had a name. He was
Yeah.
just
The
around.
parents were just really like lanky legs.
Yeah.
They were just uncomfortable. Yeah, no, she wasn't too comfortable. But she liked like Dexter's Lab. Shut that
Oh,
was
she
Yeah.
loved Dexter's Lab. Yep.
Yeah. We say this, but obviously our parents like they didn't. It was
They
just our
love
kids
it.
like, oh yeah, they loved it. It's like they just like that we shut up and we're
Right.
watching a show.
They're not like at like someone's 40th birthday party. Like,
like oh,
you
this
see
new
last
episode."
week's Dexter's Lab when he's all like, "Dee, you see that? That was great." No, I hate my kids.
You build a robot.
That's so cool.
You mean your dad didn't just crack a cold with the boys and be like, guys, new Dexter's Lab is on.
Everyone, shut up. No,
turn
turn off the game.
off the game. This has got a new episode. Patchy the Pirate's coming on for SpongeBob.
Seriously though, those nights were huge. When there was a new SpongeBob,
Oh, yeah.
you had to be inside.
Was there
all
a-
your friends were over?
Was there a bigger middle finger than the lost episode of SpongeBob?
When it was just the him.
He just has like flying pants.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is the lost episode. And they showed like a VHS, like this is the lost one.
I was hyped for that.
I'm like, now that I'm older, I'm like, someone would have got fired if they lost an entire month's worth of work.
Yeah, no, there's no way that would have.
They clearly
If not
procrastinated.
more
Yeah.
months of
Yeah.
work.
But it set us up for the future to now when like BuzzFeed has like this lost footage of Eddie Murphy stand up, never before seen. It's before seen. People have seen it.
Yeah.
That's never been accurate.
They're just refreshing it.
Yeah. Lost
But yeah,
footage.
man. I remember I watched like every commercial was like geared, oh, get ready for the lost episode. And I'm like, oh, dreams do come true.
Mom, get the DVR. We didn't have it then.
Yeah. Mom, take out your camcorder. We're recording this. It's just a white screen.
Set the tripod up next to it.
Yeah, you set the tripod next to it. You just hear a buzzing of the TVs because they're old.
Great.
SpongeBob is still big though.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's still running.
So
Kids like
new
it.
episodes?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think I'm just going to keep talking about YouTube as well because I've been watching these just YouTube channels of all these animators and they talk about other animations and like what happened to these shows and all this type of stuff. And one of the things that a lot of them complained about was that SpongeBob was so successful that Nickelodeon wanted all of their cartoons to be like SpongeBob. And there's some cartoons that are just not like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And they would force them to make it more of like the SpongeBob formula. And those shows would either get canceled, they'd have low viewership.
Wow.
Like SpongeBob was their golden child.
Yeah.
And obviously, right? It's a huge hit. It's SpongeBob. It's a huge show. But a lot of animators have a lot of resentment for SpongeBob because they were like the CEOs or whatever would just go like, SpongeBob is so great. If your show isn't SpongeBob, we're not airing it.
Yeah.
It's like some cartoons are just not.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, SpongeBob is great. It's an amazing show. But sometimes you want to watch Billy and Mandy, or sometimes you want to watch, whatever.
That's such a like a big CEO in a big newsroom behind a desk being like we got a pitch for a new show and it's an awesome show. Or like Queen wanting to put Bohemian Rhapsody as the radio song. Be like, no. How about the song I'm in love with my car? Be like, that's what the kids want. Give me another I want to ride my bicycle. That's what this album needs. 2 ballads. There's a formula and you're going to follow it. SpongeBob works, baby. And he smokes a cigar that's too big for his mouth.
And my thing, too, is I think a lot of these... Because I guess they said that the shows... Do you remember the show? It was kind of the tail end of our childhood, if not way at the end.
Then I definitely remember it.
Fat Boy and Chum Chum?
Nope.
Oh, no.
Oh, I remember the title. I never watched it.
Fat Boy and Chum... Yeah, because it was trash.
Yeah, trash.
So, Fat Boy and Chum Chum, and like that... It was just these two like stupid kids, and they're dressed up as superheroes. There's a fat guy that's kind of like a Patrick-esque character, and the other guy's got buck teeth. He's more of a SpongeBob-esque character.
Yeah.
And it just was bad.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, let's keep going. And I think what happens is they thought that there was this formula of this is SpongeBob. It's got to be stupid, it's got to be silly, and it's got to be like whatever. But I think for us, like, yeah, it was stupid and silly, but the jokes were so smart.
Yeah. Look how much we overanalyzed all of the things we just said about SpongeBob. It wasn't just dumb guy with high energy, lazy guy, and pessimistic guy. That wasn't it. I mean, it was part of it, but there was a lot more to it.
Yeah,
clearly.
There was definitely a lot more. Even think about what was I gonna say? Like one of my favorite jokes. We're gonna probably say that 50 million times.
Yeah.
One of my favorite jokes from SpongeBob is when they get a paint on Mr. Krabs' first dollar.
Mm-hmm.
It's his prized possession. Can't have paint on it.
Glue
So they're trying to take off the paint and they can't. So it gets to the point where they're doing this whole montage. They're trying to get off. It doesn't work. SpongeBob gets frustrated, takes a rock and starts bashing on it. And Patrick goes, SpongeBob, we are not cavemen. And he shows him a computer. He goes, we have technology. And he just picks up the computer and just starts bashing the computer on it. That joke is hilarious.
It's a good joke. It's a misdirection.
It's a misdirection.
Classic comedy.
It's a great joke. It's a classic, and it's coming from Patrick too.
Yeah.
And as Patrick's taking the computer and just smashing it, like it's great. It's not just it's stupid. Like it's a misdirection. It's still a well thought out joke.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like they're just bashing everything and then that's it.
It's also perfectly in line with Patrick's character. Is making you think he's gonna be smart one more time. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. Milk spilling over.
Yeah.
Same thing is, no, I got this. And then he's more stupid.
Yeah.
That
goes to get more big paper.
Yeah.
Happy Leif Erikson Day. One of my favorites. things ever.
Day.
Because he's writing the note on a giant piece of paper that's posted in his house.
I think one of the subtle things that made Patrick so funny was whenever he would try to seem smart,
Yeah.
and then you'd find out, like you said, like he was dumb.
Yeah.
You know, he'd be like, yeah, like my mind is an enigma, and then it just shows the milk spilling. You're just like, yep. Or when he makes SpongeBob act stupider than he is.
Yeah.
So that way he can look smart. And he's like, listen, you just
With
don't
his
get it.
parents.
Dumb people are. And he just sits there.
That episode, can we just all acknowledge the fact that in that episode, it ends with Patrick not knowing what his parents look like and his parents not knowing that Patrick isn't his son.
Yes.
Can we all agree what?
Okay, so
We don't have a son.
we're gonna break that down.
Marty!
Janet. Marty.
That's what her name was. I can never remember her name. Who are you people?
Yeah.
They just yeah. Let's talk about that.
I'm so glad we're talking about Patrick. I got worried we weren't going to.
I got worried.
So Patrick's parents are coming. They know his name is Patrick. They talk him down and try to figure out that he's like dumb, and then he's trying to prove that he's really smart. And then at the very end,
When they've already been interacting for a
they've
whole
been
episode.
this whole time, all of a sudden Patrick's real parents show up, and they
Same
just go,
floral print.
"Oh
outfits.
yeah, we don't have a son," and they just walk away. When I was a kid, I thought that was the biggest middle finger,
Yep.
which at the time you couldn't do a middle finger as a kid. It was just the biggest, like, hey, you guys, you suck. Why did you watch this episode?
When you flip someone off with your ring finger because that's legal.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You remember that? You know what? Heck.
Yeah. You're going to heck.
Is that the episode where they like that whole thing happens with like Patrick's quote unquote parents walk away and then the real ones show up and they're like, "Hey, you remembered us this time."
Yeah.
And she's like, "You remembered to wear pants today." Is that the one where it pulls out and it shows like the people watching the TV, like actual people,
I don't remember.
and they're like pissed? Because remember that one?
That could have been that.
maybe.
Because that's why we're so angry.
Yeah, and you were like, just wait. And everyone looked around like, wait, what? And then it just like ended.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. So for years of my youth, I thought that was just a cop out where they were just like, okay, this is just dumb.
Genius.
It was a dream.
It was a
Cop
dream,
out,
whatever. Yeah. The screen just goes all black and that's the ending. But the older I got, I was like, wait a minute. The whole premise of it is that his parents think that he's dumb. These people are so dumb.
Well, that's how
They
dumb.
don't even recognize that they have no children. And I was like, this is deep. This is great.
Right. That's the ultimate one-upping of dumbness, is that you're
Yeah.
unaware of how dumb you really are,
Yeah.
and you're judging other people for being dumb.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Lay yours. Is this an onion? Because
This needs
has
to be a
layers.
college course.
It really
SpongeBob.
does.
I don't know why Jordan Peterson doesn't have a whole lecture on.
You really should.
Because he references other shows.
Yeah.
He's like, it's just like, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh
but-
man,
It's like discovering your son, but then realizing you don't even have a son.
it's just like, you know what's funny is my mom started
That's
listening-
communism.
My mom started listening to him, and she does the best impression of him I've ever heard.
Oh, I
It's
gotta
like-
hear that.
It's like on small stuff, you know, when he picks a certain word, and
Yeah.
and she's just be like, oh yeah, I was listening to this talking. He's like, oh, you don't even have a chance at that point. You can just cut whatever. It's just funny. Like, damn, all right.
Clean your room, bucko. I showed my dad him, and he maybe talked for less than 2 minutes because YouTube, so probably maybe 30 seconds. My dad was like, he's Canadian, isn't he? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, how do you know
Yeah.
he's Canadian? But you know, he has
said
relatives
one
that are from
word.
Canada. Yeah.
He's Canadian, and yeah, but what about we're talking about death?
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
favorite SpongeBob episode, I'm gonna be the next person to say that line.
Good. This is why we're here.
Is the art school one, because it's so real. I mean, like
Is
me,
that the-
me going through art school, and anyone that's ever gone through art school watching that episode, just like, oh my god.
Now, are we talking about the marble?
Show us your process.
Yeah, it's the one where Squidward
Show us
teaches
your
the art
process.
class,
Yeah, and so
and so
first
SpongeBob takes the course.
first I start with
Yeah.
the face.
First I start with his face, and I erase some minor details,
minor
like a
details,
perfectly sculpted face.
and voila, a circle.
Oh, that's
So
the best.
good.
That's the best episode. Like anytime I'm at work and it's like, oh, someone says explain your process. I go
Well, first I
in my
start with his
mind. First I
face.
start with his
Every
face.
time.
I gotta be the marble. I gotta date the marble. I gotta taste the marble.
Poor Squidward. I feel bad for him.
You know what? Maybe Squidward is a metaphor for trying to be what you're not. Because because he's pretentious and he fails at everything. SpongeBob is just doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
In the moment.
Yeah.
And
maybe it's a humility thing. Like,
yeah.
There are some people that are just gonna be better with you, and you have to accept that.
Yeah.
Whereas he couldn't accept it. He's like, no, SpongeBob's too dumb.
Yeah.
But he's clearly better at him at art. He's better at him in performing. When he does, remember in that episode, he does a performing dance, and it's just silent.
Yeah.
And then he comes out, and he's
with
literally
his
just
arm.
mopping, and everyone's,
Yeah.
everyone's like, yeah.
Yeah, he does that whole like interpretive dance. Oh my god, the episode where Squidward moves to the town with all the other Squidwards and the canned bread.
Yes.
That was a good one.
That's another one too.
Because he didn't even like it. Remember, he was trying to make
It was the
things
perfect
off.
world.
Yeah.
See?
Why?
Alan Watts.
Alan Watts. You can't create a utopia.
Oh no.
That's what it was. It was a Squidward utopia,
Yep.
It was.
and it still wasn't enough.
Canned
never
bread,
good.
interpretive dance.
You need conflict in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got too enforced too, and that's when he went berserk and he started playing with the leaf blower and all that stuff
Yep.
because there was too many rules that were
Yep.
going on.
Now that's a deep
Yikes.
episode for real.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course,
Whoa.
the best part of it is when they're asking everyone, "Are you Squidward? Are you Squidward?" And Patrick asks the fire hydrant, "Are you Squidward?" He goes, "It's okay, take your time."
That's the best part.
That's okay, take your time.
What else was in the town? Everyone had the same house. They
Mm-hmm.
all rode bikes. They all did dance. They all played clarinet.
Oh yeah,
Canned bread.
They did
Canned
that
bread.
the montage of his like face not actually moving, but what he was doing changed.
Yeah,
that.
like the
Yeah,
same.
and he's
Yeah.
slowly getting sadder and losing meaning.
Oh my
See?
god. Yeah.
So great.
Do you
Really
hate
hope-
your neighbors? Would you rather put your head through a blender or whatever he said? He's like, yes.
I'm really holding back referencing an Alan Watts talk. I'm not gonna do it. It's too early in the episode.
I think it is safe to say though that SpongeBob memes are the best memes.
They're so easy. They're so easy to find. Is what I'm realizing.
They're very easy to find. They're
All of
very they always they work really well. And if you think about every other meme that has come and gone and died,
Yeah.
you know, some last a couple hours, some last a couple days, or SpongeBob can always keep coming back,
Yeah.
and coming back and coming back and coming back.
I mean, just right now that are still current after a while. There's the where you're like bent over and you're mocking the person where he's like his lip is all weird and and it repeats back what they say, but the text is all different caps. There's the him naked, like tired, leaning against the rock.
Yep.
There's the him doing the fingers, leaving the room.
Yep. So many.
There's the guy,
Mr.
Fish.
Krabs, so many.
Mm-hmm.
Him when he has that radio station, the beep boop beep bop. That one.
Beep boop boop bop beep boop bop.
No, the one that goes beep beep boop beep.
And he's got AA batteries in his back pocket.
How many times are you going to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
That one happens all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what's
But-
like the biggest one?
The biggest granddaddy one.
Like take this and push it somewhere else, kind of a thing. The
That one's-
Patrick one.
that
I haven't
one's
seen
pretty
that one
big.
in a while. It's big,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's been around for a long time.
It's like a classic one.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's not around anymore.
And just Mr. Krabs just saying money. Use that for anything.
Or Mr. Krabs with the headphones on his eyes on the elliptical machine. It's like my favorite.
Or when he puts, it shows like SpongeBob putting out a piece of paper, and then there's like a little crowd, and he puts out another piece of paper, and it's a big crowd. That's usually a big one.
oh, with it, yeah. Where then they've just filled in the blank with that.
Oh yeah. The bubble blowing
Mm-hmm.
lessons or something.
Speaking of bubble blowing, switching things a little bit. So I saw Dumbo.
Oh, was it good?
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't like it.
Oh.
Also, I never saw the original.
Oh
Excuse me?
really?
Yeah. Listen, I was too busy watching Aladdin and Hercules on repeat. Leave me alone. So,
He's watching Aladdin like that could be me.
that could be me one day. Riff raff, street rat. I don't buy that. Okay.
I get a pet monkey.
So there is a part. These are two real things. This is what I gathered out of Dumbo, the live action movie. So it's live action. So it's other than that. There's the scene they replay the scene of the the balloon animal, where the circus where the balloons are like dancing, bubbles, when the bubbles are dancing.
Oh
And
yeah.
they're elephants shaped like elephants.
Yeah.
And in the back of my head, very genuinely, I go, it's not very realistic. And then I realized the movie is about a flying elephant.
Yeah. I don't know if I
Yes.
buy into this.
And then there's another part of the movie, spoiler alert, who cares? There's another part of the movie where the big circus carnival is burning down. And it's towards the end of the movie, and they have to get out. We have to escape. The whole thing's burning down. It's crazy. There's the dad, Colin Farrell, the two kids who are friends with Dumbo, who teach him to fly. And there's this woman who ends up being an ally. And so the thing's burning down. Where is everybody? She goes, where are the kids? And then she sees the two kids flying away with Dumbo, and she goes, phew, they're safe. on the flying elephant that learned to fly last week. 500
Wait,
feet in
they're
the air.
they're sitting on the elephant as
They're
it's flying?
sitting
Oh,
on
I
the
thought you said
elephant.
they're just flying themselves. I'm like, wow.
It's not Peter Pan.
Okay. That escalated.
See, the only difference I think with that and the cartoon for a lot of that is I don't remember any humans.
The cartoon was racist.
The humans were
What, really?
Well,
Yeah.
the humans were actually
The crows.
like the humans were like bad. Like they were
Oh,
bad
really?
people.
I mean,
Yeah.
they
From
know.
what I remember. They were like and you didn't really see them. You saw like their hands and feet. I'm really trying to remember. I think I'm drawing blanks, but I feel like he always interacted with animals. So like he had a little mouse that helped him learn how to fly.
Yeah.
And then he
Cinderella.
the racist part obviously is when he meets the black crows.
Yeah.
Like the Jim
Jim
Crows.
Crows.
Oh,
Yeah.
And they-
It got really
wow.
weird. Yeah.
Hey, come on, Disney.
There's,
Be
got
better.
there's,
bad.
there's a southern accent. It's a whole thing.
It's they're dressed all like yeah. You gotta watch
Like
the
how
original.
Disney would interpret it, not how we
Right.
are.
It doesn't really go along well in combination with them putting sexual messages in all their movies. And also, we're racist.
Yeah.
I'm cryogenically frozen somewhere.
But yeah, that's so my thing is like I'm like I don't remember Danny DeVito in the cartoon. Just saying, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that character. So there really weren't really humans.
There were humans in the
They played a pretty prominent role in the. They were main characters.
Yeah, I don't remember them in the other one.
There were all the acts and stuff. Like remember the scene with I don't know why I remember this so vividly.
Because
but
Dumbo
the-
just talked to animals all the time.
Yeah, but there were
Can
people in
Dumbo
the
talk
act.
in the movie or no?
No,
Yeah, see,
I'm telling you, it was realistic.
Yeah,
Other than the part
So yeah,
where
they
he
probably had to
flew.
put a twist.
yeah. They were like, well, how could we
How
How can we have dialogue? I mean, they're animating The Lion King, where it's a bunch of animals talking.
that confuses
I'm
me.
excited
I'm
about
excited, but I'm also because I didn't plan to see.
There better be music involved. Like there better be like just can't wait to be king.
Oh yeah,
Circle of Life. Be prepared.
What if there's no singing? What if
Can I
there's no
make
music?
more?
Gold Digger
Gold Digger.
classics.
Yeah.
I mean Beyonce's in it.
F is for friends who do stuff together.
Oh wow! Circle back to what's good.
Oh, that was a great one.
F is for fire.
U is for uranium.
Bombs. We nailed it.
That was a great segue. Wow.
N is for no survivors.
I thought that was the epitome of comedy when Plankton's version happened. I go, no, this is my kind of lyrics because I'm a troubled 8-year-old.
Man, thinking about Plankton's life, if we're gonna dissect it, he's got a computer wife,
Computer wife.
Karen.
Karen.
He eats
Who hates
simulated meat.
His computer wife hates him.
Holographic or yeah.
Holographic meatloaf
Wait,
again.
there was
Yeah.
something about there's something they said where because like obviously you think okay if he eats holographic meat he's not gonna live, but plankton eat either light or algae or something.
Yeah. They
So it actually
do eat
makes
light.
sense.
Yeah.
It actually makes sense.
Photosynthesis.
There's this one I saw recently and I'm like I finally get it where they want SpongeBob to act more adult like and Patrick's helping him because his grandma treats him like a baby. It's part where they say puff out your chest. Now say tax exemption.
Tax exemption. Now acquire a taste for freeform jazz. So good. Pull out your chest. Now take tax exemption.
They put him in
That's so
sideburns.
good.
I've been growing these babies for months.
Just in a box.
God, that's so good. I completely forgot about that episode. I guess you'll
Grandma's
miss
kisses.
the panty raid.
Well, that's a different one.
I know.
We should have just made this whole episode of just us like only communicating through
Through-
SpongeBob
That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
quotes.
Now that'd be art.
That would be art.
That'd be like what is it? Across the Universe, where it's just Beatles soundtrack.
Yep.
It's just a script with just SpongeBob quotes.
Yeah.
Wow, they really did it.
Now that I said that, now I can't think of anything other than it's
Yeah.
an Alaskan bullworm.
Oh, that's
It's
a good
not a
one.
boulder. It's a rock.
Oh my God, Rock Bottom. When he goes on that bus
Yeah.
from Glove World.
Thank you.
That's one I say all the time is, you're welcome. I don't even precede it with the thank you. I just say you're welcome in the tone that I hope they know what I'm saying it as. You're welcome.
Yeah, you can just take like bits and pieces of a quote, not even the full one.
That just
No
shows it's just part
context
of
at
our
all.
language. Yeah, no
Yeah.
context. It's just that's how I say you're welcome. Either that or how they say it in Moana. There's
Yeah.
2 ways I say you're
Yes.
welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Did you like Moana?
Loved it.
Really?
You know, I didn't like Dumbo.
Oh, well,
So how did you end up going to see Dumbo?
that was what I was gonna ask.
Coworkers were going.
Oh, okay.
I was like, yeah, I'll go see Dumbo. Sounds great.
Richie's just like, you know what? I gotta go see Dumbo today.
I gotta see
I
this
just
thing.
need.
I was gonna see Us a second time, but I figured, you know what?
Oh, did you like it?
Loved it.
I thought it was great.
I still haven't seen it.
Kind of
Yeah, it's
spoiled the
great.
ending for you a little bit.
Yeah, like a lot.
It's okay.
I just got so excited when I came home. I was
Yeah.
like, and then I'm like, oh
and then
wait.
this happens, and
Now
I was like, I still wanted to see it.
I mean, you should still see it because
she went with like my sister, and all the girls and stuff. So it was like it was a girls thing. But
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, well, I still want to.
But you typically don't like that kind of movie anyway.
No, but Jordan Peele knows how to make good scary movies. Though.
Yeah, isn't
It was so
Who
good.
could have predicted that? Just like Mad TV and then Key and Peele, and obviously, you know, he's funny. He's one of my favorites. But just like he's a groundbreaking
Director, producer.
Yeah.
writer, producer
Yeah.
For horror
director.
movies,
It's
which I
it's
think is
crazy.
very hard to do.
Yeah, because his comedy didn't do that well with the cat
No.
kidnapping. That didn't do that great. He made him his first movie, I think, that I knew
Oh
of.
yeah.
It was him and
Keanu or whatever
Yeah,
it's called?
Keanu. Yeah, with the cat. I enjoyed it because it's them, but it wasn't
Yeah.
objectively wasn't that good of a movie.
If it felt like just a really long Key and Peele.
That's what
skit.
that was. Yeah.
Yeah. It was I had low expectations and it met the low expectations.
Yeah. It's
But-
cool though if you ever listen to. I'm sure I said this years ago, not years ago, but Keegan Michael Key's episode on You Made It Weird. He talks about sketch writing, and it's actually like really informative as like how they do it, and it, you know, he talks about in somewhat of a negative way, not negative way, but about SNL and how a lot of times their sketches just kind of just they don't have an ending. They just go, well, that was the last joke, and they go, check please, and
Yeah.
then it kind of ends. And I love SNL, but I was like, they do that. Whereas Key and Peele, though, no, we have to have in 2 minutes we have a ending,
Right.
or it's the final joke, and it makes sense that it's over. It was cool. I recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think with SNL, I want it to be good, but then I watch it and it's not always the case. I feel
Yeah.
like it's very forced.
Yeah, depending on who it is, there's certain episodes where it's just like, man, Idris Elba killed it, and I don't know why. And then it'll be like Aziz Ansari, someone I'm like rooting for to be funny, be like, that episode was just kind of a couple sketches. And
Yeah.
it's weird which
And it was
episode
just like-
murder.
And plus, too, you've even talked about this on the show and how Saturday Night Live, a lot of these late night shows, the guests are on not because, oh, this guy's an awesome person to have
Right.
on. It's because they're promoting something.
Right. They're
Yeah.
just there
Oh,
to
they got a
promote.
movie coming out. They got a TV show. So they get him on. I always thought it was kind of because the movie and TV show was going on. They were like, this guy's great. Let's have him on our show.
Right.
But more it's like, hey, he's coming on to promote.
That
his
was such a
new-
growing up moment of
Yeah.
when I learned that. I'm like, they're not here for fun?
Oh.
Yeah.
They're
They're not here to be jokesters. That's what I thought. Oh.
Yeah.
I thought this person is doing well,
Yeah.
and therefore everyone's like, hey, let's get him on our show. It'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously they do have guests that are just
Magic
like,
isn't real.
yeah, I got nothing to promote. Just this is the 10th time here. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
They need a filler. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a lot of their skits, I think the better ones are the ones where they actually record them. They're not even live.
It's funny how they're like, I think it was on the 40th anniversary of like I think it was like Seinfeld he maybe wrote for it for a year or two a while ago before Seinfeld. And he's like, you know what you guys should do? He goes, those sketches are good. You guys should just do that.
yeah.
Like the pre-recorded sketches. He goes, you guys should just, I don't know why you guys are doing all this live stuff. This is what's fun.
I mean, they could even do it in almost like a Dave Chappelle, like a Chappelle show type of way, where they still have somebody there, and then they're just like, watch this, because not the audience is this big,
Yeah.
but the world that's watching it is big, so they don't care. They don't.
Yeah. I feel like it would be a weird transition if they did go full. Like, how could you even do? Be like, yeah, it's
People would
Saturday
get
night.
mad.
Yeah, it wouldn't. They would.
It wouldn't work.
That'd be like it'd be like their final season. They're like, we're trying everything.
Yeah.
They jumped the shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They jumped the shark.
Plus, I don't know. The more I watch the actual live skits, the more I get annoyed that they never look at each other because they're clearly just reading the script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it's me and you have a conversation, they're just like, "Yeah, what's going on? I can't believe you did that."
Especially later in the
Oh
show,
my
it's like
gosh.
the beginning sketches are pretty good. They're open, but they're eye contact and they know their lines. And then as it gets later,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Why would you
give me the check.
Yeah.
Check, please.
I mean, why don't you just go up there with a piece of paper and just read it? Yeah, I can't believe that you did that. What is this, open mic?
Krusty Krab.
Here's the pizza.
Who are we forgetting? SpongeBob.
Who?
Larry?
Larry.
Is he worth it? He's a guy that you think's gonna be a jerk.
Wait,
'Cause
who?
Larry.
Larry the
Oh
Lost.
yeah, Larry.
And then he's like pretty decent,
Yeah, he knows his hobbies.
Yeah. He
likes
knows who
him.
he is. See? Squidward doesn't
It's
know
true.
who he is, and he's trying to be something he's not.
I know.
I'm sticking to that for the rest of my life.
He likes lifting weights.
He's going to the beach, does volleyball.
He does.
He's a lifeguard. Yeah.
He's a lifeguard.
He's got a good job.
He's got a nice career. That guy at the ambulance saved him from a heart attack.
What was he taking? He was taking some kind of pill. Remember they said
Yeah.
from when he they didn't say overdose, but they said like
They
took
said the
too
word
many
opioid epidemic.
he took too many something pills.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorites is
Some
when
guy in an ambulance.
Larry-
Right. If we just pretended. You know, when you think of that golden rule, sure as they like to be treated, that was shown in the SpongeBob episode where literally Squidward did nothing good.
Yeah.
Like, who helped you? The fireman? And
Yeah,
who helped
the
you? Some
fireman.
guy in an ambulance. Right. So if we just pretended that Squidward was a fireman or worked in an
God,
ambulance,
that's good.
I'm sure we could get together and help him out. And everyone's like, yeah, for the
For
fireman.
the fireman.
Literally makes no sense.
So if we just pretended, it's so
We just
good.
pretended that he was a good human being, we could help him out.
I like. Oh, that's right.
That's how
when
you
they
overcome
mentioned
loving
that.
your
Yeah.
enemies. Pretend that they're a fireman or some guy at an ambulance.
That actually is good advice. You get through life a lot easier. It's supposed to hung up on SpongeBob hosting parties. I liked when Larry was doing CPR on the beach to some guy. He was like pounding his chest. He's like, "Breathe, darn you!" He's like killing him.
I forgot about that one. The guy's like flying in the air.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then the surfer. I think that's
Yeah.
the peak of characters.
Living like Larry.
Yeah.
What was that episode? Wait, is that the one where they're trying to be like Larry? Larry like takes a day off, so SpongeBob and Patrick are like the lifeguards.
It's high tide.
an angel. SpongeBob had death. How do you treat death?
How do you treat? He's got it all.
Yikes.
Chelsea Peretti, she has a joke with that laugh, the surfer laugh, and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
always
the-
and she goes, "Just make your mouth a bigger circle. Just why is it such a small circle? Just open it up a little bit and not make that noise. That can't be your real laugh."
It's like, why do you have to be a surfer and have to sound?
It's so good. The smallest circle,
And the fact that they had a beach under the water.
which is real, a lagoon.
Oh yeah. Well, the fire under the water.
You watch enough ocean documentaries and you find
Yeah.
out.
You find some real stuff.
It's true. But then they would drown.
Well, that's the point. Wait, how do we have a fire underwater? And then goes out. Self-awareness.
Now, I think a dumb cop out was when they had the gorilla,
And
Oh my
episode,
god.
yeah.
and they're like, "Wait, how is a gorilla underwater?" And he's like, "Well, it's just," and he's like, runs away. I'm
yeah,
like, okay.
that was a cop out. That was a
yeah.
The writers were quitting.
The writers were out. He was out to lunch that day when they were supposed to create an explanation.
so he just went and bought a gorilla suit. Be like, we figured it out.
was
I
just
feel
green
like that
screen them.
100% happened in SpongeBob. They were trying to figure out, like, how do we end this episode? How do we do it?
Mm-hmm.
And they procrastinated the whole time. They couldn't figure it out, and then they just, oh yeah, honey, we don't have a son. They did that,
Yeah.
and that like blew up, and everyone was like, oh my god, that's so great. And then they were like, well, lightning can strike twice
Right.
in SpongeBob, and it just didn't pay
It ain't
off.
broke, don't fix it. Gorilla suit.
Gorilla suit. Oh. But that was like a real person green screened.
Yeah, it was a little
That was weird.
disturbing.
Oh my god, the Doodle Bob
Doodle
episode
Nelly.
that
Big
actually
mean.
did scare me as a child.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
Mina, hi, me, hi.
Because then the little arm like coming out of the after he erased all of them.
That was a
then the
real
arms
scary
left.
episode.
What is it? What does Patrick explain? He's like he was just a 2-dimensional object in this
3
3-dimensional world.
Yeah.
Page for Mr. Doodle. I'm so happy about this episode.
She was
this
so
is
excited.
my brain.
Oh, I love
She was so excited when we were
Oh
just
my
like,
God.
let's do a SpongeBob episode. And you're like, maybe we can even ask Lauren. Because she knows things. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's all she knows.
It's really true. Yeah.
Fine dining and breathing. That's all
Fine dining and free. Oh, that's one of my favorite ones.
My name. That episode has probably one of the deepest lines where he's like, listen, one more crack like that in SpongeBob's brain. One more crack like that, and you're out of here. Be like, you can't fire me. We don't exist. We're just a physical representation of human thought.
He's like, one more
Please,
thing.
I have 3 kids. I messed that up, but whatever. You get
No, I got that.
it. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we're a figment of representation of human thought. He's like, one more answer like that and you're out. He's like, please, I got 3 kids.
My name? I say that a lot.
What's the name? What's the
I got
name?
nothing on a name.
Oh my gosh.
Burn it all. Nothing but fine dining and breathing.
We didn't talk about the salad and tea.
Salad?
We say that
Oh
all
my
the time.
gosh.
Anytime Vince and I go to a restaurant and the menu's like scarce or what?
Yeah, there's
sparse.
3 things.
Salad,
2
tea.
salads.
Or back when we were engaged and we were looking for stuff, we're just like, these are all the things that we can afford
Oh
for
yeah,
the menu. Salad
salad and tea.
That's awesome.
or whatever. She has to go to some sort of like bridal shower or
Yeah,
whatever girl
that's
thing.
what's available.
Every
Yeah,
menu.
That's all you get.
Salad,
Salad
tea.
and tea.
Yep.
Social commentary. See?
Fine dining and breathing. And every time he delivers something, he just goes.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Oh my gosh, hash slinging
The hash
Slasher?
trash bringing,
Thing,
crash,
crash
Singing.
ringing.
ringing.
He goes, yeah, the
Yeah.
hash thing.
This is gonna be such a strange episode for people to listen to.
They're not gonna be able to keep up.
No. Towards the end.
This is episode is for us.
Yeah.
It's not for anyone else.
Yeah.
Nosferatu.
Oh.
And the walls are covered in slime. No, wait, they're always like that.
Or when they have to kill the health inspector and the cops help them because they think it's a zombie. Die, zombie!
Don't they try flushing down the toilet? Or
Yeah.
what do they? Oh my god.
I'm going to the dark side. And like half of the room is like not lit. And they're like, what? I'm not gonna pay to light the whole place.
Hash singing. Trash.
Trash.
There's so many just layers and layers of quotes.
Yeah.
It's like we're not being consistent at all.
No, there's no. It's lost rhyme. This episode has lost rhyme and reason. It's
Yeah,
just
it's-
or like that one time.
I will say though, like when the show first started, we're gonna pull it back to having content.
Thank God.
When the show first
Having
started,
quality content.
it definitely felt like the creator, I can't remember his name, but he was a marine biologist, and it had that feel of like,
He was actually.
yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
teaching kids that like this, like not the first one, because the first one was the reef blower, but the second one where he works at the Krusty Krab with the what are the things that come in?
That's anchovies. right?
Anchovies.
Yeah.
So the anchovies come in and they're like swarming the place, but that's it felt more like anatomically underwater
What do you mean?
earlier on, like with
You mean
the
like
creatures
accurate?
itself. Yeah, like what they would do,
Yeah.
like, and then it like drifted away, and they were like Patrick with big legs, like walking around. And, you know what I mean? Like it drifted. I felt like it.
Meanwhile, how good was that music that played when SpongeBob was dishing out
Oof.
Krabby Patties to anchovies?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Because the Krusty Krab is a crab catcher.
That's right.
Shape.
Yeah.
I've run past all of these.
Yeah.
I feel it's like, yeah.
Right? I don't know. I could be wrong.
No, it is.
And
I'm
don't
spreading
do
rumors.
starfish live kind of under rocks
They
and
stick
stuff?
to-
They stick
to
to
stuff.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
because every time it opens up, he's always stuck to
Because
it.
they're bottom feeders. I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
So they're
I don't know
starving.
about the sponge and the pineapple. I think that's just for fun.
That just makes no sense.
That's just for funsies.
Yeah.
And the inside of his house was all like fishing lures and like
Nautical themed.
yeah. So you know they had something going on there.
Well, I mean, they're probably with the thing of him eating holograms or him actually eating light.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Accurate.
it had something there. Yeah.
Lagoons, Goo Lagoon.
Goo Lagoon.
Wasn't it supposed to be an adult show? Comedy Central said no.
I mean, Bikini Bottom, probably.
I don't know.
I think so.
Maybe.
Or it might have been Powerpuff Girls, and they were supposed to be like the Kick-Ass Girls or something stupid.
Mm.
It's
Well.
a swear word in it.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
How did you guys feel about the Flying Dutchman?
Kind of like
did
that.
we care?
When he snores, I like that.
Yeah.
You get 3 wishes. Make it 5. 4. 3. Take it or leave it. All right. You got 3 wishes.
I
Which
wish
is
I
the
knew that
illusion of
sooner.
choice.
Yeah.
Oops. We're gonna have to go through the.
Where do they put
department.
Squidward? Squidward falls down that hole of like
He falls into like the tunnel of abyss. Like he goes to like
Yeah, it
the
was
depths of hell. He's just it's like
It's
horrifying.
like just falling for the whole episode, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
He like unzips. He's like zoop. And Squidward like falls down that hole. Poor Squidward.
Poor Squidward. You never thought you'd say that as a kid.
No, because he annoyed
He
every
was just
kid.
he was the negative Nancy of the
He was
group.
like the adult of the group that just no.
No.
Are you sure? Yes.
No.
Squidward tennis balls?
Squidward tent poles.
Tent poles.
Tortellini.
Laura's just having her own journey.
When we were in college, we had to buy our own router to get our own internet or whatever. Lauren's was Squidward, all caps, tortellini.
Wait, no, wasn't that the password? What was the?
The password. I'm trying to.
They
I don't know.
connected. It was both SpongeBob.
Yeah.
It was great.
Squidward tent poles. Tortellini.
It's okay, Rocky. Take it.
Which wasn't too fun because I feel like back then you had to manually put in the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So you had
Says
to know how to-
tortellini, the
how do you
longest
spell
version.
tortellini?
Oh, the worst. Yeah.
Squidward tortellini.
Squidward tortellini. -5G.
All caps.
XX 05.
Linksys. There's something amazing about a show where you can say something as simple as, I got paper bones. Or
Sounds
something
like-
even simpler
sounds
than
like
that.
rap lyrics.
Yeah.
Your boy got paper bones.
But I mean, just anything to where you can have a bunch of people that are the same age. They didn't know each other.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't meet until now, and all of a sudden they're all laughing. And
Yeah.
it immediately takes them back to when they were watching it in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Of a show.
It's connecting. I got back from Myrtle Beach last week, and so you go through the sensor or whatever where they scan you when you're
Yeah.
going through security. And so now I go through the sensor and I'm putting my shoes back on, and probably 20 feet behind me, this couple is going up an escalator, and the wife goes just out loud, escalators, escalators, escalators. And I turn around and I go, EOS. And they laughed. Connected.
Yes.
That happened last week.
Connected with strangers.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you could think, okay, there's a bunch of movies and TV shows that have a bunch of quotability, but I think SpongeBob has such a wide variety where something as simple as just saying the word escalators,
Yeah.
and everyone is already thinking eels. Or
Yeah.
they're already thinking these other things because you watch the show, and when you're a kid, you kind of think, well, maybe I'm the one who's just watching this show a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But so many kids grew up
Yeah, watching that. And
watching that show and understanding those references to where you could say it and start laughing. And then even parents too, because if parents sit and watch with their kids, they even catch the references. I think we've even caught your parents saying quotes every once in a
my
while.
parents liked it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even just saying that. Like,
My parents are cool.
they
let us
just
drink
never,
at home.
they just never really cared. Like, SpongeBob was never an issue. It was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't get why, like, I'll bring up SpongeBob to someone and they'll be like, oh, my parents didn't let me watch that.
A PBS family.
And I'm like, okay,
I knew parents that didn't
Calm
let
down.
their kids
Yeah.
watch Pokemon because they thought it was too violent.
yeah, and like they couldn't read
What?
Harry Potter because it was like
Witchcraft.
yeah,
Yeah.
witches were taking over souls or something.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
What was
maybe-
SpongeBob trying
maybe
to
they
do?
were.
Take over souls.
He was just stupid.
The Horcrux.
Okay.
I remember I had a high school teacher. She had some little kids, and she said that she would not let her kids watch SpongeBob, but she would let them watch violent shows, because she said she didn't like how Squidward would talk to SpongeBob, like he would call him stupid.
I don't
and
like how she
dumb.
talks to anyone,
Yeah,
saying that you can't watch SpongeBob.
exactly.
I don't like how you're talking to me.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to teach my kids to insult other kids. She's like, but the killing stuff, she's like,
Murder.
that's historically accurate. That's fine. And I was like,
What? an
What?
Idiot.
I was like, I don't know. Is your name Karen? Do you speak to the
Oh,
manager?
man.
Because I don't know how I feel about that.
That's so ridiculous. I'm
Plankton's
just like,
computer wife, Karen.
Just every Karen.
Segue.
that's such a justifying what you like and not just because
Yeah.
it's one thing to say violent video games and violent things.
I don't
and
agree with
I
that,
don't
yeah.
agree with it. I think it influences kids what they I think what my kids see on television influences. That's a stance to take that's defendable.
Right.
What's not defendable is saying Special Victims Unit is fine, but SpongeBob isn't because what they see they absorb, but not unless if it's a real crime. That could happen. Well, which planet?
Yeah. Well, because I mean, I get, like you said, I get the idea. I think when I was a kid, you guys had those moments you wanted to watch a movie or a TV show that was inappropriate.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, Mom, why can't I watch this? My mom would always say, because you're not mature enough. And I would say, what does that mean? And she's like, mature people know that this is fake and they don't try to copy it.
Oh, that's smart.
That's the most simplistic way that she would tell me that.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what the case is.
Yeah.
And even going with comedy, I mean, like with our stuff, our comedy for our shows and stuff, it's something where you have to be mature and understand, oh, this isn't real.
Yeah.
He's saying inappropriate things, but he's not actually going out and doing inappropriate things or condoning others.
Nor does
to
he
do
even believe it probably.
or even believe it. Yeah, he's saying it because it's funny, and we're mature adults to where we understand reality from pretend land. And in pretend land's fun to play in every once in a while,
Yeah.
but when you go to reality, you know not to replicate it.
Bring pretend land with you. We're in
Yes.
pretend land. Here's a great example of that. 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. I don't remember. I saw The New Guy, PG-13.
Oh.
Comedy.
There we go.
And
I
there
think that
was-
was fifth.
Maybe 5th, yeah. And there was a line in the movie that was inappropriate, and I repeated it over and over and over again. Just that one line. It wasn't funny, but to me, it was a fun thing to say
Yeah.
in class.
Uh-oh.
And Heather told on me,
Oh.
Oh,
and I went
It's
to the
always-
principal's office because I didn't leave pretend land in pretend land.
yeah.
Yikes.
5th grade Richie got in trouble.
Yeah, my cousin.
What was the line?
It was I'm trying to think of actually what it was. They were in prison comparing embarrassing moments, Eddie Griffin and the main character.
Oh, the bent wiener part?
Yeah, he goes, an 80-year-old librarian grabbed my wiener. And then he closed his letter, he goes, you win. And I kept saying that, and I was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Heather was like, Richie's saying inappropriate stuff.
Dang, the Heathers of the world, man.
I'd say her last name.
Yeah. We all
But I
know.
already took care of that.
I think we did it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I think too, kids, there are kids, like when you're not mature enough, you do replicate certain things. But yeah, like you said, it doesn't make sense if you're watching Special Victims Unit or you're watching a gladiator cut someone's head off, but then, you see that and that's like, oh, that's okay.
Right.
But I don't want my kids saying mean things. But of course, even television and stuff gets a little weird like that. Like violence is okay,
Yeah.
but sexual stuff is like no. Like,
Yeah. But
people-
specific sexual stuff. Implied sexual is is fine, apparently.
Yeah.
And implied violence is fine, even though it's the word implied means everyone knows.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, that's fine because it doesn't show it. Everyone's treated like children by the television.
We really are.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. It's just silly that we have that. And like I said, I think there's some truth to it. But yeah, like you said, I think people, they just pick and choose like, well, no, I'm not gonna watch a comedian talk about, this, but I'm gonna watch a TV show about it. That's
right.
Fine. It's like, because this guy could be telling the truth, even though his whole job is to make things funny.
Yeah. It's so, because that's exactly it. If a telephone's doing it, but this guy, I don't agree with him. No, you don't know if you do or don't because it's fake.
Yeah.
Nothing you're watching is real. Documentary is fact. It's a movie. That's still my favorite stance. Is, well, this is a good one because I agree with this one.
Oh, the documentary.
That one's bad.
Yeah.
That one's paid for by Big Pharma. This one is real because I agree with it.
You could spend 30 minutes with any video editing stuff to realize that you can make people sound how you want them to sound.
Yeah.
With a camera, you can pick what to record, what not to record. And if you got to create an idea in an hour and a half, you're probably going to make it the idea that you want to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hard to make a documentary where I go, yep, that's true. Because it's so hard. Because you can just cherry pick stuff and you could show it. What was the one we were watching? It was really boring, but it was on was it on Amazon? With the small vial of blood.
Oh, the Inventor.
Yeah, is that what it's
Have you
called?
heard of
The
that one?
Inventor?
It's this lady. I don't remember her name, but she she has a company in Silicon Valley and like trying to revolutionize healthcare and make it more like Apple, where like everyone has this product. And basically what it was this machine that would only require like a finger prick of blood instead of when you have to go into the doctor and they'd get like a vial.
Yeah.
You only need about a
And it
small
would
amount
test
of
for
it.
100 things.
And it would test for everything. And basically what she wanted to do was have this machine. It was probably the size of like a toaster in everyone's house.
Yeah.
So you could just do these tests.
Yeah, and it would
when
totally
needed.
change the healthcare industry. Well, the thing is that the machine didn't really work too well.
Machine could not do it.
So they were
Right.
doing a bunch of cover-ups where basically you go into the doctor thinking you're going to get a prick of blood, but then they go, oh, actually, no, this test, you need this one. It's specific. So then they get a regular blood. They would send it to their place. They would do all the testing and then say, oh, this is what the machine came up with.
Like if they had investors come into their office, they would do like a test. Obviously, they'd prick their finger or whatever, put it in the machine.
Yeah.
And then they'd actually have phembologists in their basement do all the testing while they're getting a tour. Oh, well, while this is processing, let's get a tour.
Phlebotomists.
What did I say?
Fembots.
I don't know.
the blood.
The blood people. So they
Vampires.
would go down and they would have to, remember they had to dilute it because it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it was so dangerous.
Come on.
Yeah.
It was
some of the
disgusting.
results weren't good.
And they were like sometimes the container it was in was so small that it would just like fall off the table. Or they would like lose it. Or like
or if the machine broke, because there was all these like needles and stuff, like if you had to put your hand in there to fix it,
You could, like,
it's nothing but
literally get
contaminated
AIDS. Yeah.
blood. And so it was a whole
it was
mess.
bad.
Where's it going with this? But anyways, there was
That was just a
the only
documentary.
part I didn't like about the documentary was there was a part where they were just like, yeah, she was always with the vice president. They'd always go on trips together.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd go to business meetings together. And it was almost implying like they had this secret love affair.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe they did. But the documentary edited it and cued it to where it was like, yeah.
Music changes.
They're always, yeah. And it would zoom in on her and like the vice. They're always together. And I'm thinking, like how presidents and vice presidents work together, how they go to meetings and represent the whole company. They're always like next to each other, and it would zoom in on them like not smiling next to each other or like smiling or whatever. And I'm like, okay, guys, like,
Can we
I get it. It makes the story more interesting.
pretend
Like,
land? You're still
they're
in pretend
banging
land.
each other,
Right.
and they're doing illegal stuff. Like
Boom. One and the same. Sex
Bonnie and
crime.
Clyde? I think yes. Like I was like, come on, guys, this is a little too much.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
interesting though how they like the whole premise of the documentary was just fake it till you make it. Is what they kept saying.
Yeah.
And they kept bringing up Thomas Edison and how he basically did the same thing. Like
Really?
half of the stuff. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Like half the things like he was inventing like didn't work at the time, and then it would be like, oh, okay, well, we have about a week until whatever,
So
and
you
then
gotta make it work.
then he would have to actually figure it out because beforehand it like wasn't a thing. So
But he would
like,
tell people, I invented this
yeah,
already.
he'd say like,
Oh
oh,
my God.
you know, and then it's
And then-
all a show, and then oh
Tommy
shit, now we gotta
E.
figure it out. You know?
Tommy E.
Tommy E.
That's it. Is there anything else you want to say, Lauren, or Ranch, or however you want to be properly addressed?
Nope, I'm all good. Ranch out.
Ranch, ranch
Right
out.
away.
Ranch out.
Pizza and hummus out, and ranch already
Ranch
was out.
already out.
Already out.
Here we go now.